Just what's being done to help, like the average citizen here in Franklin County?
Of course, if you go back and look in late September, or when we came back right after August and September, there was a real rush by then Bush administration and by Treasury Secretary Paulson to say, if we don't do something to put a huge cash infusion into the banks, there's a possibility we may have banks go bankrupt, and therefore it could bring about an economic collapse. Well, of course, I didn't support what's called the TARP bill. Literally voted against it 4 different times. But then we came back after the first year and said, the banks have at least had an infusion of cash. We've gone in, the feds and the Treasury has gone in, undergirded and guaranteed a lot of loans above and beyond the $700 billion. Again, that I did not vote for. And then they said, we got to do something for the average working people. So we basically, through the American Reinvestment and Economic Recovery Act, authorized up to about $260–70 billion in tax cuts. A third of that, $700 billion, went into tax cuts. And then we said, a lot of folks are unemployed. We need to extend the unemployment for those folks up to 52 weeks. You've had your unemployment compensation for 26 weeks, it runs out. You quit paying for your house, you quit paying for your car, you quit buying food for your children. So what we did with that is actually, for the first time, looked at how we could put money into the hands, into the pockets, some through tax cuts, some through certainty that they could continue to draw unemployment compensation, and some for economic development, for bridges, for water and sewer lines, which is basic need for that all across America. So we did some infrastructure development. We also put in place actual dollars that would help the individual have at least some standard of living until maybe the economy picked back up and they can. So that's basically what we did with that American Investment Act. I don't know what will happen in the future. I hope that what we see happen over the next few weeks is we start seeing more confidence in ourselves. Mm-hmm. I watched the current president with the G20 at the G20 conference, means the 20 countries of the world that have some of the strongest economies. I watched the interaction between those leaders. They seem to like each other. That's unusual.
Right.
But they seem to like it. They seem to respect each other. They seem as if there was an urgency to get along. And so what I saw coming out of that the last week, up through today when our current president came back to Andrews Air Force Base and is now in the White House, I saw an effort to work with everyone to say, this world is a big world. We all have our sovereignty. We all have our island, but we still are all on the mainland. Mm-hmm. We still are all part of what's going to happen in the world. And we've got to do the best we can to have a safer world and have a more economically strong world. I believe as a result of what we saw this week, I think the confidence level has started increasing worldwide in each other. We just seem to have respect again for each other. I think that's good. I think we will see a recovery as a result of people in the world trying to work together.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.